Alright, we are on raising girls again. I'm gonna just read one more chapter, then I'm gonna start the textbook. So, part one: the 5 stages of girlhood. Creating a total girl. Let me drink some of this. A 2-year-old Molly lifts a Tonka truck high in the air and is about to smack it down on her friend Jemima's head. Even at 2, she knows this is not really in the true spirit of playgroup, so she glances toward where her mother is watching to see how it might go down. Her mom has seen it all and is urgently flashing her, "Don't you dare frown." Ever so slowly, Molly lowers the truck to the carpet and goes back to coloring. Jemima remains blissfully unaware that anything has happened and goes on humming to herself while holding firmly onto the only yellow crayon. 10-year-old Elise looks at her computer screen and sees a message thrashing one of the girls in her class. The girl is already shy and insecure. It's mean and personal. One of her own friends just posted it. Elise chews her top lip so hard it leaves a red mark. She hates bullying, but how can she intervene and not make enemies? She heads downstairs to talk to her mom. 15-year-old Samantha pauses during the math exam, draws a deep breath and frowns. She almost finished with loads of time to spare. If she keeps going, she'll probably top the class. She likes math and always does well, but then she will be seen as a brain, which is highly uncool, especially with boys. She knows she can't stop now and leave out the last couple of questions. "Nah," she exclaims to herself, then worries if she said that out loud. Nobody seems to have noticed. She gets on and finishes the exam. I'm glad she finished it. Girlhood is a lot of fun for parents and for girls themselves, but it also has its intense times. At each stage of their growing up, girls have to deal with difficult decisions. They get confused and make mistakes, but eventually they learn and grow, and out of all this, they become capable and strong adult women. As a parent, it helps to have a map of the country of childhood so that you know what to expect and what to do. The map in this book is drawn from the latest findings in child development and neuroscience, family therapy, and parenting education, but also comes from talking to mothers, fathers, and teachers in many countries. I never quite trust experts unless what they say matches my own heart and passes the test of common sense. That comes from talking to lots of people. Eventually, the map becomes clearer. You feel like you know where you are. The 5 stages of girlhood. While each girl is unique, there is still a journey that all girls have to make to grow up well. Whew. While each girl is unique, there is still a journey that all girls have to make to grow up well. Girls seem to be different from boys in the stages they go through and the ages at which they happen. In the chapters to come, you can look up the age of your daughter and dive into more detail about what is happening for her. But first, it's good to get the big picture and see where you are. Stage 1, security. Birth to 2 years. Am I safe and loved? Human babies are the most dependent babies on Earth. Born totally defenseless, babies instinctively know that the adults around them have to love them, or they might not give them proper care. Okay, my neighbor's over there. And stage 1, security, birth to 2 years. Am I safe and loved? Human babies are the most dependent babies on Earth, born totally defenseless. Babies instinctively know that the adults around them have to love them, or may not give them the proper care. It's not enough just to be fed and clothed. Machines could keep a baby alive, but she will not develop intelligence or kindness. She will be a very strange being indeed. It's through her parents comforting her tenderly, singing and talking to her, jiggling and tickling and loving her, that a baby girl comes fully alive and decides that life is good. In this situation, her emotional as well as her physical needs are responded to. Out of all this, she makes a fundamental decision about life. I am loved and safe. She carries that inside her always. This book makes me upset. Girls do it differently and more quickly. Girls develop more quickly than boys, especially in brain abilities. The estrogen their body creates while still in the womb actually increases the rate of brain growth, and at birth they are many weeks ahead of boys. The difference increases in the first 5 or 6 years. The estrogen their body creates while still in the womb actually increases the rate of brain growth, and at birth they are many weeks ahead of boys. The estrogen increases In the first 5 or 6 years, girls learn to speak whole sentences and control their fingers to do neat drawings or even writing 6 to 12 months sooner than boys. Girls are ready to start school about a year earlier than boys. Girls do not suffer as much separation anxiety as boys if they have to go to child care, although this varies a lot with the individual child. Girls enter puberty about 2 years sooner than boys do, turning into young women overnight when the boys seem to be standing still. And finally, they become adults sooner. Girls' brain development finishes several years before boys finally get there in their early 20s. It's as if nature says to girls, you'd better grow up ahead of the game. You will need your wits about you. It's crazy because where I come hiking, I seen this boy. He kind of reminded me of myself. He had a big forehead and like you could tell like he had like a big head like me. And then like I see him, but then I didn't know, like, couples, like the girl lean up against the car and he'll just be talking in front of her or whatever. And I noticed he looked like he was a young boy, like still a teenager, and she looked like she was 22, 23. Maybe she was older than him, but she just had that more mature look than him. Stage 2, exploring, 2 to 5 years. Is the world a fun and interesting place? This stage is when a girl learns to be confident and interested in the world around her, to be smart and creative. It builds on the secure feelings from stage 1. If people are going to stay close and care for me, I can relax and check out the toys, play in the garden, toddle out across the grass, mess about with dirt and stones and leaves. Babies who don't feel securely attached to their parents do not explore very much. They are too afraid of their mom or dad will desert them. Babies who don't feel securely attached to their parents do not explore very much. They are too afraid their mom or dad will desert them. This is the age when your daughter can be shown how to paint, poke, build, create, and enjoy the world of things, animals, and people. If the people who love her share some of these activities with her, she will pick up on their enthusiasm and pleasure in making. She will pick up on her enthusiasm. If the people who love her share some of these activities with her, she will pick up on their enthusiasm and pleasure in making and doing. Her brain becomes permanently switched onto learning. You will have taught her that life is an adventure. Strange, new, and challenging things will be a joy for her for the rest of her life. Stage 3, people skills, 5 to 10 years. Can I get along with others, other children, other adults, as well as mom and dad, brothers and sisters? Can be difficult, but are mostly fun. Your daughter finds that she can have better fun by sharing a little, giving way a little, cooperating, and playing together than if she's just on her own. This isn't possible until about 3 or 4 years of age, and even then it's hard, but by learning first from mom or dad and then other people, she can work out that she is not the center of the universe. Other people have feelings too. Right through elementary school, this most complex of skills, valuing yourself, but also valuing others and treating them with respect, is gradually being learned. Again, it builds on the earlier stages. Being treated kindly, you grow kind. Being treated sensitively, you grow empathy. Being treated honestly, you grow honest. She decides that mostly people are fine. I like them. Let's play. Your daughter will be a people person. For the rest of her life, she will know how to be with people in a happy and helpful way. Stage 4, finding her soul, 10 or 15 years. Can I discover my deep down self and what makes me truly happy? With the coming of puberty, a girl starts to experience a much stronger sense of being her own person, a separate and private self. She is far from being a woman, but she is no longer a child either. Can I discover my deep down self and what makes me truly happy? With the coming of puberty, a girl starts to experience a much stronger sense of her being her own person, a separate and private self. She is far from being a woman, but she is no longer a child either, like a tree in winter. She is building up reserves for when she will be ready to blossom. These are the years in which she begins to strengthen the inside of her deep self, who she really is. It's a time when she needs help to think about what she stands for and cares most deeply about, and also where her interests and passions are. Often at this age, a girl finds her spark, something she loves to do that gives her joy, purpose, and a creative way to make a contribution, a reason to be alive. By gaining an identity through doing and believing and strengthening her inner world, a girl will be freer from the need for approval that haunts many teen girls and makes them conformist and dull. By gaining identity through doing and believing and strengthening her inner world, a girl will be freer from the need for approval that haunts many teen girls and makes them conformist and dull. A girl's soul is like a wild animal, powerful and savvy, but wary too. It needs time and quiet to emerge. As a girl finds her soul, she will be equipped to face and she will be equipped. as she finds her soul. For the big questions of life, choosing intimacy on her own terms, choosing her career path, knowing which peer group to hang around with. A girl who knows her own soul may be a gentle girl, but also one who has a steel in her. She has a steel in her, not easily manipulated by careless boys or false friends. She will be loyal, tough, and protective of those around her and of herself. Stage 5, stepping into adulthood, 14 to 18 years. Stage 5, stepping into adulthood, 14 to 18 years. Can I take responsibility for my own life? At 18, your daughter begins to be a woman, so at the age of 14, the preparation for that huge leap has to begin in earnest. It's mostly practical. Here's how you manage money, time, eating, clothes, health, safety, driving a car. But it's also time for a powerful shift in attitude. Sometime between 14 and adulthood, a girl needs some kind of marker event, a growing upright, an experience, or even misfortune that teaches her that she is now at the steering wheel of her own life. So it's mostly practical. Here's how you manage money, time, eating, clothes, health, safety, driving a car. But it's also time for a powerful shift in attitude. Sometime between 14 and adulthood, a girl needs some kind of marker event. I'll come back to that. A growing upright, R-I-T-E, like a ritual, like a quinceañera, or like a woman party, you know? A girl needs some kind of marker event, a growing upright, an experience, or even misfortune that teaches her that she is now misfortune that teaches her that she is now at the steering wheel of her own life. Think of your own life. Let's see. Okay, think of your own life. If you are a mother, you have a huge advantage in raising a daughter. Used to be one. If you are a dad, it's different, but daughters don't expect their dads to be their moms usually, so it's all right. You have a different part to play that is just as important. If you're a mom reading this, think back to your own childhood. It's still worth doing this if you're a dad, although the stages would have been somewhat different. Did you feel safe and secure when you were a baby? Were your parents in a good place in their lives and able to really love and enjoy you? I can't say, you know, but my mom didn't have that either, you know? But I'm trying to learn, you know? Were you encouraged to play, enjoy, and explore the world around you? Did your parents have the time and interest to excite you and show you how good life was as a toddler? When you went to school, did your parents help you and show you how to get along with others? Could they get along with others themselves? Could they look out for themselves but also respect the needs of others? Did you find in your early teens that your unique interests were supported? Did you find in your early teens that your unique interests were supported, or were people too busy? Did you find in your mid-teens that you could get to know your own soul and connection to nature and the universe and be strengthened in this? And finally, in your late teens, did you have a clear transition to being an adult where you felt that you took control of your own life, faced the consequences of your actions, and had a sense of power as well as a purpose? Lots of questions, but you will quickly work out where you did okay and where things fell down. Perhaps that will help you know how to get it right for your daughter, how important that is. Okay, so that was like, I thought, so right here, there's no like beginning of a new sentence, but I'm going page by page. I wish they would have just started a new sentence, but I guess they like continued from right here. So right here, stepping into adulthood, 14 to 18 years old. So I'll read that last paragraph. Okay, so let me just read stage 5 again. Stepping into adulthood, 14 to 18 years. Can I take responsibility for my own life? At 18, your daughter begins to be a woman, so at the age of 14, the preparation for that huge leap has to begin in earnest. It's mostly practical. Here's how you manage money, time, eating, clothes, health, safety, driving a car. But it's also time for a powerful shift in attitude. Okay, sometime between 14 and adulthood, a girl needs some kind of marker event, a growing upright, an experience, or even misfortune that teaches her that she is now at the steering wheel of her own life, that she literally holds her life in her own hands. This is a frightening realization, but frightening in a good way. By steadying herself and by receiving the welcome and support of older women, she can leave behind childishness or harmful gullibility, meaning not easily fucking just to do stupid shit, and be accountable, connected to consequences, and proactive in making her life worthwhile. While life itself can deliver this realization to a girl, it will. But outside your family, people will hurt you. While life itself can deliver this realization to a girl, leaving it to chance is a hazardous and unreliable way for it to happen. This book makes me mad, but I love it. She might come to a serious harm. Also, some people never grow up and their lives are self-absorbed and wasted. They drift in misery, blame everyone else, and never take responsibility. Girls have to be deliberately and proactively launched into healthy womanhood. When this is done well, the results are impressive. A girl takes charge of her life and makes her unique way in the world. Each stage asks a question. Okay, I want to go back to this part, like, by steadying herself and by receiving the welcome and support of older women, like even older men are so fucked up to younger men, bro. That's why women are taking over, bro. That's why you see more women at 9-to-5 jobs, bro. There's probably a lot more women in the investment world too, because those same women, they don't want to be stuck in the 9-to-5 job, bro. But you see them there, bro, because those same women who are stuck at the 9-to-5 job, they're willing to help those other young ladies. But there's a lot of men are fucked up and bitter, bro. And shame on anybody like that, no matter what sex you are. By steadying herself and by receiving the welcome and support of older women, she can leave behind childishness or harmful gullibility and be accountable, connected to consequences, and proactive in making her life worthwhile. Well, yeah, life itself can deliver this realization to a girl, leaving it to chance is a hazardous and unreliable way for it to happen. She can come to serious harm. Each stage asks a question. I hope you'll find the 5 stages clear and easy to understand. Remember that each girl is different, so the stages can vary quite a lot according to the age at which they happen. Also, they overlap because nature is efficient and starts one lesson while the other is still finishing. I hope you can live with that. The key point is that as your daughter completes each stage, she comes to a decision about her life, which is going to either help or harm her. For example, imagine a girlhood where all 5 stages go badly. This girl would arrive at the following 5 decisions. Okay, so this is good. The key point is, this is bad, but this good is showing us. The key point is that as your daughter completes each stage, she comes to a decision about her life, which is going to help her or harm her. For example, imagine a girlhood where all 5 stages go badly. This girl would arrive at the following 5 decisions. So let's go back to the first one. Security. So when she's a little girl, completely fucking reliant on our love and care, life is uncertain and nobody loves me. Damn, to think to not even know how to voice that, but just feel that. I feel like such a shitty dad, man. Exploring. New ideas and things are frightening. Exploring, that's like at the age of 2 to 5 years. 3, people skills. From 5 to 10 years. People can't be trusted and they're impossible to get along with. 4, finding her soul. 10 to 14 years. I have nothing of value inside me. I am a nobody. Damn. Finding her soul. From 10 to 14, bro. I have nothing of value inside me. I'm a nobody, bro. That's what we see today, bro. That's what we see today. The mentality and the mindset of people. And it's sad, like, everybody's so insecure and they just take it out on each other. But he said it what it was, man. The media and these greedy fucking people, man, see vulnerability in our young children. Stage 5, stepping into adulthood. 14 to 18 years. Growing up is just too hard. I don't want to be an adult. I don't have any power, any choice in what happens to me. Stuff just happens. Like, you don't think you could have anything. You think you're just gonna be pushed around. Growing up is just too hard. I don't want to be an adult. I don't have any power or any choice in what happens to me. Stuff just happens. It's crazy. Those are pretty bad outcomes, but they are familiar to anyone who works with girls. Every parent can look at their daughter and her friends and other girls in their town and city and see the results of these stages being lived out. Some girls will make it, some will not. The decisions that girls make at each stage are profound and life-altering. Fortunately, in case you are now paralyzed with fear, some girls will make it, some will not. The decisions that girls make at each stage are profound and life-altering. Fortunately, these decisions are made little by little, combining many experiences, so we shouldn't panic about always getting things right. The stages last for years and we get lots of chances in case you are paralyzed with fear. As a parent, what matters is that you don't give up. Loving your daughter and always trying are what will get you through. And if your daughter's already passed some of the stages and you feel that she didn't really get the message, don't despair. Don't worry. Those decisions can often be remade later. Of course, if you have a new little baby daughter and she is the reason you are reading this book, then you are lucky indeed. But at any age, if you have enough caring and motivation, you can still put things right. Using the stages. Use the stages by asking, what age is your girl? What is the most likely big question that her life is asking according to the stages listed above? Always check with your own experience rather than letting books or theories dictate your actions. If your gut feeling is that this is the stage she is in, you can organize the experiences and inputs to help her along. I will teach you how in the chapters to come. Another use of the stages is remedial. You can pinpoint the earlier stages that she might have missed out due to difficult circumstances. The nature of human beings is that we can often recover things that we missed out on by getting them down the track. For example, adopted children from terrible backgrounds can gradually find security with their new parents. Overprotected girls who are fearful can be challenged and coaxed to show more courage. Girls with no people skills can learn to get along better, and so on. Be open to the possibility that your daughter may be a certain age in years, but a far younger age in development, if she missed out due to life circumstances during the earlier parts of her quest. In a nutshell, all girls through 5 stages to become a woman. All girls go through 5 stages to become a woman. These stages teach her the 5 big lessons of growing up. Being secure, learning to explore, relating to other people, finding her soul and taking charge of her life. Adult help is needed for all of these, and the adults have to know what to do. Parents who know the map of girlhood can organize their lives to provide what is needed. Parents who know the map of girlhood can organize their lives to provide what is needed. It's your daughter who makes the journey, but you are her coaches, caregivers, and allies along the way, not her enemy. I added that. Taking on these roles is probably the best thing you will ever do. I love this book. All right, that was the end of chapter 1, y'all. Peace.